Ang activity natin ngayon ay roundtable discussion with the media at launching ng aming video. Kaya ang aking inihanda na opening introduction of this activity ay nakasulat sa Ingles. Pagpapaumanhin, I will try to translate ibahagi in Tagalog, pero magiging Taglish na siya. So we came all the way from various places in northern Luzon. Binanggit kanina po, pero ulitin ko. Mula sa Cagayan, mula sa Santa Lucia, Ilocos Sur, Ilocos Norte, Dupag sa Kalinga, Apayao, Nactonin sa Mountain Province, at kami mula sa Baguio City na dinugtungan ng Hostisya Northern Luzon, sa Central Luzon, sa CL, sa Manila. Nandito kami para sa layuning ipakilala or to get the attention of the media community on an issue which we believe is not being given enough attention both by policymakers and media professionals, the whole issue of political vilification. Alam namin kung gaano kalakas ang media para ipunin ang opinion publiko para pumapel sa usapin ng political vilification. We fully appreciate the role played by media in boldly speaking in behalf of those who are not equally provided the avenue to speak for themselves, among whom are the families of victims and the victims themselves of state-perpetrated attacks. Mass media practitioners are not strangers to the insidious effects of political tagging to suppress criticism and dissent. Many crusading journalists have been felled by the bullet as a result of politically motivated violence. And justice remains to be served to the victims of the Maguindanao massacre, scores of whom were media practitioners. The issue at hand is vilification on the grounds of political belief or political affiliation. By all indications, itong political tagging na nararanasan natin ngayon sa Pilipinas ay bahagi ng estratehiya ng US-sponsored war on terror o tinatagurian nating war of terror. Hindi kaila sa atin ang estratehiyang ginigiit ng dating Bush administration ng United States of America na maglunsad ng psychological warfare o legal offensive na i-redefine ang scope ng human rights, i-redefine ng obligations ng human rights, at i-redefine ang international humanitarian laws. Isa na dito yung paggugumiit at pagpupumilit ng Bush administration na pwedeng gamitin ang torture para sa mga captives na tinatagurian nilang terorista. O kung terorista ka, pwedeng gamitin ang torture. O pwede kang ikulong sa undisclosed safe houses. O di kaya sa policy ng rendition or ibalik sa iyong bansa na kung saan malaki ang posibilidad na ikaw ay ma-torture, makulong o mapatay. Sa parehong objectives, si Bush ang naggugumiit na gawin yung wiretapping without warrant o yung eavesdropping sa mga suspects nilang terrorists na pwedeng i-tap ang kanilang emails, ang kanilang phones without a court order. Under the Bush policy, so-called terrorists are not subjects of human rights and therefore are exempted from human rights protection and obligation. Itong policy na ito ay walang pagkakaiba sa ating nararanasang vilification which is a policy under Oplan's Bantay-Laya 1 and 2. The systematic strategy of vilification for targets of neutralization were subjected to vilification to justify subsequent assassination or enforced disappearance. We have witnessed the prevalence of systematic psychological warfare on instilling amongst the general public the mindset that political dissenters, whether above ground or members of armed guerrillas, are enemies of the people. And as enemies of the people, they do not deserve human rights protection. They can summarily be killed or simply forcibly disappeared. Friends, especially in the media, whether vilification is waged against the CVP, NPA, and DFP, or against legal political dissenters, or those so-called enemies of the state, or so-called terrorists, the act of vilification is inimical to human rights and fundamental freedoms. The counterinsurgency program of Aquino administration, dubbed Oplan Bayanihan, says nothing to put an end to the strategy of vilification. On this, vilification must be stopped. In this light, we in DINTEG, Cordillera Indigenous Peoples Legal Center, Justicia Northern Luzon, Cordillera Human Rights Alliance, Cordillera Women's Education Action and Research Center, in coordination with Karapatan National, Justicia National, and Katribo Party List, have united to work for a public advocacy campaign against vilification, guided by the following objectives. Let me quote. First, to urge legislators, decision makers at the national, provincial, and municipal levels to come up with resolutions and operational guidelines on putting an end to political vilification and the labeling of progressive individuals, people's organizations, party lists, and communities. Second, to strongly support the recommendations of Professor Philip Alston, UN Special Rapporteur on Extrajudicial, Summary, or Arbitrary Executions regarding vilification, like urging the government, let me quote, urging the government to immediately direct military officers to cease in making public statements linking political or otherwise civil groups to those engaged in armed insurgencies, and introducing transparency to the order of battle and watch list of the AFP-PNP. To raise awareness among the general public and draw their support to this campaign. Third, to continue to advocate that the principle that political dissent is among the pillars of democracy, and therefore protection of political dissenters must be of an urgent concern. Fourth, to continue to advocate that compliance with human rights standards is not an obstacle, but instead will work positively in dealing with insurgencies. Towards these objectives, we are embarking on the following activities. First, monitoring documentation and reporting of cases of vilification and labeling. Second, holding fora and other educational activities on this issue. Third, production and distribution of video documentary on this issue, which we will launch just after today, this morning. Fourth, roundtable discussions with various interest groups like what we are doing now. Fifth, local lobbying or local legislative units shall be urged to pass ordinance or resolution against political vilification and introduce measures to punish and prevent such acts. Ordinance or resolution can also include the provision of assistance for persons or organizations subjected to vilification, such as filing cases, complaints, or providing sanctuaries and other support. 6. National lobbying for members of Congress, especially the House and Senate Committee on Human Rights, shall be engaged in discourse and sharing of experiences by victims of vilification with the aim of encouraging them to pass a resolution or law on this issue. The resolution can include the delisting of legitimate organizations in the AFP's order of battle or so-called enemies of the state. This campaign against vilification is being supported by the European Union through the delegation of the European Union to the Philippines. Iba pa ang support nila dito sa nakuha nyo. So, this whole EPJAS program being supported by the European Union, iba pa ang kanilang support sa amin. Support sa hustisya. Ano? Para sa, ito ay support sa mga families and victims of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance para maging bahagi sila sa buong kampanya kontra vilification. Friends, let us now proceed with today's session. We hope that at the end of the session, you will be with us in urging the Aquino administration to come up with an effective policy and implementing mechanisms on putting an end to political vilification. To our friends in the media, we are particularly interested in eliciting mechanisms on how the media community will deal with statements from those in authority directly vilifying or with the effect of vilifying activists. How will the media deal with the psychological warfare on excluding activists and political dissenters from the protection of human rights and the rule of law? With this, in behalf of the organizers of today's activity, welcome and thank you for being with us today.